Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the VR Master League. I am your caster today, Mr. Noman with a 4. I am joined, I believe, live from his fridge, Sleepy with 2 3s. How you doing, Sleepy?
I'm good. Well, I just decided when I was coming back over that, you know what, it's afternoon at this point, so no one's going to blame me if I crack open a beer at the start of this cast, so that's what I've done.
Fantastic. We're going to have a loosey-goosey cast for the folks at home today. So what we're bringing you this week is Legionnaires versus BossFight. So this is Button Cup week in the VRML. If you guys are not aware, you've been under a rock of some sort all week long. So this has been the NAEU matchup week. There have been 2 of them so far. And so almost all these matches that we've been watching have been challenges this week, but this one is not that. This is the NAEU Button Cup matchup between the Legionnaires and BossFight. Sleepy, what do you, real quick before we get into picks and bans, what are your thoughts on this matchup? Like, what do you, give me a little prediction.
Well, if I gotta be honest, it's an odd matchup, I would say, for Button Cup. I really think BossFight, I don't know. I just want to say I already give it to BossFight. I mean, Legionnaires have definitely been playing at a new level that I haven't seen in previous seasons, but I'm interested to see how they're going to bring that against BossFight. I mean, Legionnaires already have a very EU-esque style, and so BossFight are going to be very capable of handling that from the gate. So are they going to try and bring something different? Are they going to try and bring the NA speed, which, well, to be honest, BossFight is also ready for, because BossFight has competed against many teams across the pond. But yeah, I still feel like I'm going to give this one to BossFight, but, you know, stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have indeed happened.
Millie
Okay.
Bobby Brown.
We'll get into some of the other picks. Or actually, we'll get into the picks and bans right now while we wait for the teams to ready up. So let's unpack these picks and bans. What we've got for map bans on the Legionnaire side, we'll start with Legionnaires. They are banning Quarantine. That is going to be the first ban that comes out. This caster's personal favorite map, so I'm a little hurt, but I'll get through it. And then the ban from the BossFight side is Cargo. So we won't be seeing the ostensibly smallest map either. What are your thoughts on those bans, Mr. Sleepy?
Well, they're kind of not fun bans, if I gotta be honest. Like Cargo and Quarantine. I mean, Cargo is always usually guaranteed a good time for those at home and for us as casters. And then Quarantine is just one of my favorite map, both to cast and to play. So they're not winning any favors in my book with those bans, but you know what? I can't blame them, I guess, because they are smart bans against the opponents that they're facing today.
Yeah, very true. BossFight, a pretty daunting opponent on Q1. having played them quite a few times on it myself. They are quite good at that map, so nobody would fault Legionnaires for that choice. And Cargo, yeah, that can be a difficult one, really irregardless of the team. As I like to say, that is sort of the global equalizer for Onward. It is the notorious coin toss. We've seen, high tier teams get blown out by low tier teams on it. All kinds of crazy things have happened. So maybe taking a little bit of RNG out of the map pool. We do have our first map that is going to be Suburbia. So we're going to be seeing at least one close quarters map. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a subway or a tanker as well. So we will likely be relegated to relatively small maps. I cannot imagine a downfall pick. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think either of these teams wants to go for downfall. So if
I don't know, Legionnaires are a team that I believe do favor downfall, actually. At least they did at one point. No, I don't know if that still rings true, but they've already elected to give away the first map pick to BossFight and take defense, if I do remember correctly. Or was BossFight the home team here?
No. It is Legionnaires that is the home team, and they did indeed choose to pick a side rather than the map. So this is BossFight's map pick.
BossFight are going to get 2 map picks right off the gate.
Yes, most likely.
So I hope Legionnaires are prepared in their turtling strategy then, because that's what they're going to have to do. They have to turtle the whole time.
Yeah, it's entirely
successful.
I think that's it plays into their style. I think it is their style to try to lock out the offense on defense, and then just sort of, I don't know. I don't want to say that their offense doesn't have a set structure, but their strengths have definitely lined in their defenses in the past. So this kind of makes sense to me. But we will see exactly what it means for. Map picks being given away is not necessarily that big of a deal as long as you are relatively confident on those maps, or all maps, I suppose. So it might be something that plays in Legionnaires' favor here. And like you said, the standings disparity is something to be taken into account. So I think Legionnaires knows they're up against a bit of a tough fight, a tough opponent, and I would imagine that this is one of their minor strategies to gain a bit of an advantage. So we will see exactly what it's all about here in just a few moments. We are just waiting on the final Legionnaire to make it into the lobby. We'll pop over to the pre-round real quick while we thank our sponsors. It's important to do that right now. VR Cover and ProTube VR, thank you guys so much for everything you've done for the league and supplying our gifts, our prizes for our championships, and just in general supporting the VRML. So we do thank you for that, and everyone listening, go check out their stuff. It is a fantastic set of product lines, and I personally, as a player, use both. So do not play on a worse VR implementation than is possible. They definitely improve my experience of most of the games. I do want to thank everybody in the chat for tuning in. We do have another game going on Master League 2. That is a challenge match between SMC and beginners. So if you are interested in, double streaming, getting their multi-Twitch on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please do that.
It's essentially a button cup match because the button cup match couldn't be had. Beginners available this weekend because Globochem was not able to really field against their rivals beginners in their button cup match. So SMC was hungry for a challenge, and so it's essentially a button cup, if you will, but not an official button cup match.
Very true. Very true indeed. Excuse me. So we do have our 5th player in, which is fantastic, which means I will take the folks over quickly to our tent so we can see who we are fielding today on the BossFight site. You've got Scooby-Doo, UC Death, Mad Scientist, Weather Balloon, and the relatively new but also old Mr. Lonely Viper himself as the 5th there. And on the Legionnaire side, you've got Vegas, Eric, Mayhow, Mr. Sirius, and Kagan. So pretty standard lineup there for Legionnaires. No one missing that I can think of, at least of the ones remaining on the team. So should be a pretty good lineup here. I'm curious to see how Viper performs, as he has recently returned to the league. So he has been one to watch.
Yes, he did quite well for the team the last week when I covered their match against who was that? Vikings, I believe it was. Was it Vikings? Was it Silent Purge?
I want to say
Shoot,
Vikings. I want to say
I
Vikings.
want to say Vikings as well, but yeah, Viper did quite well in that game. As his first game back officially on their roster, he was back for a while as a reservist, but and I've verified this on the website, he has officially come back on the roster for BossFight. And just as this match was kicking off, I saw in League General that Radarhead has also officially rejoined the roster for BossFight. So interesting things going on there. The roster kind of rebuilding again, and be excited to see how that works out. But yeah, Viper.
We will see how that pans out as we get into our first round of map 1. And a little bit of pre-fire coming out already from the BossFight side. We're seeing a C4 placed by Zarek somewhere here. Wow, did it totally disappeared off my screen. Either way, it is in lane 1, and that is where the bulk of BossFight's offense so far has stacked up. They do just have one watching that lane 3 cross.
Mad Scientist over here. He's got a nice watchful eye over the normal defender's position at the black car on the north side of the street, but he's not going to really find anyone there. No one's going to be close. Mr. Sirius is a bit farther back. He'll take this opportunity to go ahead and push in through to the center portion of the map as they begin their methodical push. They're definitely not rushing this one because they don't want to come out too quick, too fast to get annihilated here in round 1. And a little quick check nade there from Weather Balloon out from the shield. Nobody on that flank spot, however.
Yeah, just not quite far enough, and Zarek is going to detonate the C4 in the hopes that somebody pushed up off of that frag, but unfortunately for him, no contact there, and now it is just a standoff here as 90 seconds have burned off, and BossFight just now approaching the middle of the map. Smoke starting to roll out a little bit. You see Death chucking one out. Hopefully we'll be seeing them move off of these.
Yeah, I always hate when I see a lot of smokes being used but not being moved off of, especially ones that you know weren't thrown as a distraction. I mean, obviously there are different reasons to use smokes, and a lot of times, you know, people think that every smoke is going to be one to cover a cross or to cover a push, which isn't the case. But when you see ones that were intentionally thrown to cover a cross or, you know, a push for a cap, and then nothing happens and the smoke just fades out, you're like, oh.
Well, that is exactly what just happened. That that smoke was.
And I timed my.
Yeah, you really did. Yeah, you really synced up there. But yeah, no contact made, no real movement from BossFight whatsoever. I've really started taking a shine to just using smokes as footstep cover. I mean, it's as simple as that. It doesn't even have to really blind an enemy. It can do a lot if you throw enough smokes. The noise is pretty deafening. So I would have expected at least some motion to get UC Death or Scooby up a little bit. Little frag coming out there. Nice over the top of the objective, but no one's tucked in around it, so that will not find any purchase either. And now half the match is gone. And BossFight still sort of poking and hoping here in lanes 1 or 2. Man, if Legionnaires would return some frags in this direction, they could just be mopping up BossFight. Their spacing is pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say their spacing's pretty top-notch, though. With the exception of Scooby-Doo and UC Death right now, their spacing has been pretty solid over there.
But I mean, if you just rained down frags, you would have, you know, it's like fish in a barrel right now. They're literally just in 2 lanes. This is the best case.
And what wouldn't help their case is the fact that they don't have too many escape routes, right? Like, in the ones they do are very choked up, like very single-person lanes.
Correct. Oh, and that one is gonna find. It's gonna find their first down on Vegas here. Down on
He
objective.
was tucked in hard on that corner. He was in behind that jersey barrier. His body's now flipped out from the frag.
Oh, Zarek's going to find a little contact here. Scooby's not going to be ready for it as he gets it down on the ground, and Zarek will clean that up.
Oh, Viper should just light this fence up, and he does, but he's just not finding the right angle to hit it. Oh, but that's
there
okay.
it is.
Weather Balloon's going to see his behind and go ahead and take a couple of shots himself. Legionnaires go up 2.
There it is. Mad Scientist laying down some fire towards one of the members of Legionnaires tucked in at Black Car. It's really just the 3 on the north side of the street. Kagan and Mayhow the closest. But BossFight letting these smokes dissipate again, not moving off of that initial pressure, and now I wonder how many utilities they have to get across the street. Weather Balloon won't have, I mean, he'll have an issue, but he won't have as much of an issue as the rest trying to get across the street.
That's the only reason why I think it's okay that they've wasted what smokes that have gone out, because they do still have Weather Balloon alive, and that shield will help him basically get to objective, because it doesn't, I don't understand why no one from Legionnaires rotates back to actually get an eye on the backside of this objective. Kagan's just sitting where he is, which is fine. Kagan's position is good, but now Viper's picked up another kill. Mayhow picks him up, but on that, BossFight's finally going to push for the objective, and they have the upper hand, but it doesn't matter as Mad Scientist finds the last pick onto Mayhow, and BossFight grab round number 1.
They do indeed, and Viper, the man to watch, apparently 3 kills in that round, picking up those final 3, in fact, to cinch that round up for BossFight. So Legionnaires giving away their map pick to BossFight, starting on defense, and BossFight still able to grab themselves that round win. So Legionnaires' plan already falling apart a little bit. We'll see if that will remain consistent. We'll see if they can put up a Marsoc victory of their own here, which they will absolutely need to do if they want to stay inside of this map 1 series.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. But Viper there with the triple on the map, doing his job, coming back on the roster. Weather Balloon, of course, picking up 1 as well, and Mad Scientist well spread out. I will say, Noman, I felt like I was a little disappointed with the rotation of the defense from Legionnaires there. They lost El Vegas, which, granted, El Vegas was giving a lot of call-outs while he was down up until the point where he was double-tapped. So I'll give him props on that. He might have went down from the frag, but he gave so many call-outs, so much information. So at that point, I don't think it was necessary. But the second that he was double-tapped and gone, they only had 3 left, and the defense was focused mostly on the other side of the map, which that's fine to an extent, but you should have 1 to have at least peeled back and maybe rotated back on the side where Vegas was watching, just in case that push came out for the cap, and they just ended up getting caught with their pants down. But either way,
indeed, we are now going the other way as BossFight is on defense. Legionnaires is on the offense here in round 2. Now we are going to see what Legionnaires thinks of this white car objective. It looks like they are going to opt to that same lane 1 and 2 push. They are going to bring a shield as well, as Mr. Serious will be rocking that riot shield on his push through. And BossFight opting for a pretty similar defense, a little bit more rotatey than others I've seen. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that word. I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to commit to that.
Rotato. This is a pretty funny little C4 placement I like over here.
Ooh, cheeky.
It was from Mad Scientist, and I have a feeling it's going to be quite successful as long as they don't get too antsy with the clacker. Because the second they do that, then such a great placement gone to waste. But you know, you can never tell, right? It'd be cool if it had like some sort of proximity warning on it, you know?
Yes, indeed. Some kind of beep or bob that tells you when there's an enemy nearby, but it's a little bit more advanced than I think we're thinking of. Oh my goodness, that grenade! Oh, how does that not find Scooby? Unbelievable nade toss there. think that was
I think
Mayhow.
the distance. Yeah, I think the distance was enough on that one.
It's a little dicey here. Ooh, we'll see if Mad Scientist C4 pays off as Zarek is literally on top of it. Along with Mr. Serious, Mad Scientist needs to be pulling that clacker right now. Oh, and there it is. And Mr. Serious call out will do it. The frag comes out.
2 frags. Jesus, talk about overkill, guys. Viper goes out with a flash. Looks like he's going for an assault push. No, he ends up backing off. Now I don't quite understand what the point of the flash was for. Maybe to just keep them from rushing after the pick. Viper and Mahal are going to face off in the alley. Neither going to be able to pick up the kill. Mr. Serious sitting there with a shield, though. He's ready to help counter. Mad Scientist is going to wait it out because he knows he's got the trap ready lying in wait.
No, he's friendly.
Stop being mean to me and go away. Mad Scientist picks up the 2 in lane 2, and now it is just up to the remaining 2 members of BossFight.
Oh, that frag over the center. Almost good enough to take down Kagan, but just a little too far, and it falls over top of the carport. Kagan gonna find 2 right afterwards. He has got a horseshoe stuck up his backside that he doesn't even know.
Oh. I'm about to miss Weather Balloon and Vegas here. Vegas will find the frag on a nice little push on the backside, and now he is through. The defense is in trouble. Okay, Scooby calling out. He's going to go for the res. UC Death making that cover fire happen onto Kagan's position, but Vegas here might be able to capitalize on Scooby's rotation. He does indeed, and that is another one down. UC Death looking for the refrag. Kagan, meanwhile, confirming.
Man. Wow, this is a great round here. UC Death in a firefight with Vegas. He doesn't even realize that Scooby just gets double tapped from Kagan. UC Death finds Vegas. Now he's going to turn to try and find Kagan. The shots ring through the fence, but Kagan still managed to stay up. Now he's going to try and fall back a bit. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. Kagan still has enough time definitely to do something here. UC Death is going to be getting frantic at this point.
Well, he made the right call, so he heard the confirmed shots from Kagan. He returned the fire after Vegas was no longer a threat, and the rotation came out because there was smoke on OBJ. I mean, that was textbook play by UC Death, exactly what he needed to do. Now it's just down to him and Kagan here. Who's going to spot who? He turns his back. Kagan spots him. Shots go through the fence, and they do find the kill. Legionnaires will secure their first Marsoc round as well and stay in this series. Holy cow, that was a fantastic round. Whew, I'm a little lost for words. That was really good. I sound surprised, but I did expect some goodness here.
Oh, of course. I mean, we definitely thought this was going to be a good game, and I'm actually eating my hat right now about saying that I felt BossFight was going to kind of walk away with this a little bit more easily than they have. Legionnaires really turning that round around, and Kagan, whew, he was on fire there, man.
Yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic play by both UC Death and Kagan. They had their clutch moments, but just an unfortunate, I don't know how to describe it. Distracted turn from UC Death there gets him caught out through the fence. Legionnaires stay in it, and now we're going to be going to the center house objective, which I am very excited for. Excited to see how these two teams have a habit of turtling up inside of the center house. And so what's interesting to me is really never the defense. It's always the offense that has to sort of crack that nut, as it were, and get inside to the meaty objective. And the type of equipment utilization, the type of communication and coordination that's required to successfully pull off this objective is so much fun to watch. And honestly, I'm a League player and I suck at this objective because I just, I'll just run around and run in and hopefully I'll kill somebody. But to see these other teams who have these structured plays and this coordination is just, it's exciting. Onward. It's the kind of stuff that I became a caster for.
Do you want to know what I think might be yours and other people's problems with
Tell me
Suburbia?
what my problem is, Sleepy. Therapy's in session.
Your stock, honestly.
True. The stock does slow you up a little bit.
Slows you down
Yeah.
when you're cornering in suburbia and in places like cargo. Now, cargo, I'll grant you, you can definitely use a stock a little bit easier without having as much trouble, because I feel like there are some longer sight lines which definitely benefit from it more so than there are on suburbia. But especially the center house objective.
Oh no, Sleepy, you're talking and there's death happening everywhere. That unbelievable Scooby pre-fire we've seen quite a few times. Offense is already in. They're already in upstairs. This has absolutely annihilated the defense. I'm not even watching them die here. Mad Scientist is inside capping. And that was an absolute shredding. Mr. Serious, the last one left. Boss fight.
Oh, Mad Scientist was too slow on the tablet upstairs, and the team gets the kills instead. Oh, that's not good. Mr. Mad Scientist, you had all day, brother. Oh, that's tough to watch. But either way, the team, like you said, just roasts Legionnaires. And my God, were you following Scooby's pre-fire there? That spot? Because my God.
Yeah, I've seen it quite a few times. That was a what we called the boss fight special back in season 7. We did see that in the that was in the championships, the qualifiers and all that. They utilized that tactic quite a few times, and it was mondo effective. So you can see why it was effective. They got 3 down, stopped the defense from basically even leaving their spawn. And had it not been for some itchy trigger fingers, that would have been a cap, putting boss fight up 3-1. But now instead it is a 2-1 as we get into round 4. There was not a lot of time there in between rounds. Looks like Legionnaires already knows their play. Boss fight will stack their men 3 inside, 2 on the outside of the houses. The pre-fire now coming through from the offensive side. But it's a little too late to catch anybody crossing if they were hoping for that same effect. The other unfortunate issue there was Legionnaires did not spawn on the east side. They spawned on the west, so they were not able to return that pre-fire if they know that angle. It is a very cheeky angle weather balloon finding, Mr. Serious.
No, I'm down. There's one guy in the carport.
And that is going to be the first down for boss fight, but no confirm will come out, and it should be a res
One guy in the carport.
in no time.
Yeah, and well, as you can see, just like you said, Omen, Boss Fight and Legionnaires, both kind of teams more infamous for turtling up, especially on this objective, and that's exactly what we're seeing at a Boss Fight here. They are trying to get that confirmation with the nades, but they're just not on target right now. There comes another one towards the center, but nothing of it. But yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we've seen. Boss Fight sitting here in the center house, 1 member outside, or 2 members outside, but still within close enough proximity to where I would call it in the house. And yeah, they're just handling business. The rest does come out from Kagan, so Mr. Serious is back up, but it's going to be a tough nut to crack for Legionnaires. They are definitely not ready with the shreddy spaghetti like Boss Fight was on that last round, where I'm honestly, I don't know what to say still, because I'm still kind of in awe with that play. It just worked out supremely well for them.
Yeah, that was absolutely textbook play by them. And if I remember correctly, as we experienced that as league players when Blaze took them on last season. They have it on both sides of the map. They actually have a pre-fire position similar to that on both sides of the spawns. So it is a very dangerous play. Wow, weather balloon picking up Vegas there on the carport outside. Gonna find him in lane 2.
If I were Mr. Serious, I'd be a little less aggressive here with Weather Balloon. He's already been downed once, so basically a feather would kill him. I don't know that I would be aggressively searching out the firefight. I'd be looking for those kind of cheeky stealth picks like Mad Scientist, who was just standing through the door. Maybe try and peek through the bushes and take those shots instead before actively engaging in someone who is...
We've got Zarek here on the back side of these bushes. Scooby trying to listen. Weather Balloon's going to be the one that gives this all away, but yeah, Zarek does find Scooby. Weather Balloon now looking for that refrag, not able to spot him out just yet.
Oh, that's going to give Zarek all the information he needs right there, but he doesn't pop up. It's interesting. UC Death now might be able to pick up the kill on the Zarek if he's not careful.
And there it is. Weather Balloon's heavy rotations gets him caught out by Mayhow on the backside. Mad Scientist is going to find the refrag as he peeks that back door, but it's going to get him killed as Mr. Sirius finds another. And now it's a 3v2.
Wow, and Eric has made it across the street now under heavy suppressive fire from Viper. But the objective is still going to be in that house. I know Eric is over here trying to get a different angle across the street and help thin out the stairs for his friends. But I don't know that it's really going to be effective. I think he's going to need to go upstairs here in order to really provide the help that he wants to.
I think that is the play, though. Getting up into that spawn house is such a huge bonus for your offensive attackers to be able to give them the intel as to where the defense is, maybe even take some shots down through the windows can be a huge, huge help. 2 minutes left for Legionnaires. They've got man advantage here as they're 3v2. It's just Viper and Death upstairs at the objective, so Legionnaires will have to pull some crafty business out to get rid of both. Time is ticking down.
Still a minute 30, though. Still plenty of time left, especially for Suburbia.
There's no time like the present, Sleepy. That's what I always say.
Well, I couldn't agree more with that, but, you know, as far as in the map, it's not like they're currently being threatened by a countdown right now. Though, if they don't get things moving shortly, they will be.
I was going to say, I feel like you underestimate the patience that some of these players have. Almost detrimental amounts of patience. That nade is not going to catch anybody. Could have been dangerous for Kagan if he was peeking through that window.
Eric would have been able to huck a grenade up through that second-story window right behind UC Death. That would be like God-level IQ play there.
I am shocked that Zarek did not go upstairs in that spawn house. I mean, he's not effective if both members of offense go down. There is that to consider, but still, it is a powerful play to make. And they are now down into 36 seconds to try to make something happen here. They're still sort of dancing around the outside. Mr. Sirius isn't even inside the house just yet. And another nade's gonna come out. That flash is gonna catch two as Viper and UC Death lock down the OBJ, and Zarek, the final one, rushes through the door with no time left and gets killed. BossFight take that round. It is now 3-1, so they have salvaged the missed cap opportunity and gone up 2 points regardless. And as we're taking a look, Viper with 8 kills so far.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. Not only that, but I mean, Mad Science is doing well too with 5. The whole team, though, doing their job, pulling some weight. Scooby-Doo, he's always focused more on leading. Plus, he had probably a triple or a quad in that one round, but half of them got rezzed after that pre-fire that he laid upon Legionnaires.
Very true. Very, very true.
To be honest, Scooby probably has 2 out of Viper's 8. Really were to think about it. Or, I mean, I'm just taking him for Viper because Viper has the most right now. Viper's been wrecking. But on the side of Legionnaires, Kagan's been doing very well. I mean, he clutched that one round to get Legionnaires that one win that they desperately needed to come back after losing that first Volk round. And then the rest of the team is, again, kind of spreading things out with what they've got on the board. Pulling their own weight, so that's good to see at the very least. And I'm still very surprised. Legionnaires are still playing very well. That last round still very close, though BossFight do end up securing it and going up with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, indeed. Now it's do or die for Legionnaires here. They do have to hold this defense, which was their plan all along, but now they've got to find a defense, find an offensive win, preferably a cap to take the series if that works out for them. Otherwise, they've got to take 3 rounds in a row against this BossFight team that is absolutely on fire now. And they're going to have to deal with the burning building. Speaking of fire, they're going to have to deal with that burning house OBJ as we get into round 5 here.
Weather, give me a smoke.
That's our BossFight's going for a 5-1 right here.
Just take this, doesn't matter.
We have got drums being handed out. We have got a shield going. I would be surprised to not see some sort of quicker play, but we'll see what the pre-fire does to either of these plans as Scooby lays some fire down out towards Legionnaires. They are down on the ground. They're not going to catch any of those bullets. A little bit of return fire there from Kagan. not going to find any purchase. And now they're just trying to keep the defense pinned. Vegas' aggressive position here might get him caught. Interesting, he had 2 smokes pointed in 2 different directions to mask his approach. Pretty solid play there by Vegas to get into a real cheeky little spot. I don't think anyone's going to expect him, but will Weather Balloon pop this corner? Yeah, with the right shield cover. Is he going to be able to get past this corner? I'm keeping an eye on that lane 1 and 2 as we do see 3 members there going across.
Soon. Now Weather Balloon's going to have seen him and called it out. There's the frag out, and it does get him. What the heck? Nice backboard shot there from Weather Balloon to take down Vegas. He'll slide up a bit closer to take the shots for confirmation.
And there it is. Weather Balloon will find that kill. The nade coming up and over. A little too short.
Shallow.
And now BossFight is inside. I mean, almost inside center house. Yeah. Is that the sound we're going to make every time somebody throws it out? Up, 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 up.
If it goes over a rooftop, and it's like they're returning volleys in like badminton.
Mad Scientist finds 1. That frag is bad. Scooby's going to find another, and the defense is falling apart. It's just 2. Kagan and Zarek left. BossFight pushing in on every side.
You do not want Weather Balloon on that objective. He is so good about being able to lean that shield up against him and do things like reload and cap and pull out utility, and like he, Raph, you know, few people in the league are just.
Oh my goodness, Mad Scientist pushes up to the backside of Zarek, and there it is. That's going to be the kill there, and they're going to be looking for the final one out of Kagan. Kagan's not going to be ready for it as Mad Scientist comes around the corner, gets the kill, and BossFight takes map 1.
I'm actually kind of surprised and impressed with BossFight. They did not go for the 5-1 spread, even though they completely had that.
I mean, that was the defenders were on where they needed to be on. They could have pushed smokes up that lane 3 and capped from behind the barrier, but I don't know. I don't know if it was even really worth it in that scenario.
Well, sure. I don't know. I mean, it's a button cup match. Do they not want to just be like, you know, give the NA the middle finger and say like EU's #1, like, you know what I mean?
Sure,
that's what I figured. Like we'd be throwing knockout punches all day, not playing the cup.
I think if we kept track of round scores totals for it, that might have been the case. But since the button cup is basically just decided on victories or losses, it has no real bearing. I think BossFight just wants to win the map. I don't think anybody wants to drag this out.
Involved.
That is true. That is true. But I suppose, you know, if things are if things are clicking on the killing side of the house, a lot of teams will just relegate to we're up way ahead. We don't need the comeback. We don't need to risk the cap and potentially lose versus just get the kills by putting the pressure on the objective. That kind of makes the most sense to me. But we will see as we get into map 2 now. Curious to see whose map pick this is.
Let me not say anything. Old Sleepy be wrongin'.
Well, I'm wrong as well because I said this map wasn't going to happen, but it's happening now, folks. Downfall is going to be map number 2. It is going to be BossFight picking into it, it seems, as Legionnaires is still on the defense here. And just as a reminder, those bans were Cargo and Q1. Cargo banned by the BossFight folks, and Q1 banned by Legionnaires. So nothing, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised by this map pick, but I really didn't think they were going to go for it. I really thought they were going to play sort of the tighter maps, especially seeing the way BossFight played that Suburbia. They seem to be really feeling themselves in those tight corridors and those tight lanes. And Downfall is definitely a departure from that. Sometimes it can be hard for teams to shift gears when it comes to switching from a small map to a large map. I know my team especially can have some struggles in terms of having the aggressive playstyle from a small map carry over into a large map that may not warrant that kind of play. But we'll see if BossFight has that same problem. I don't know. They just feel like they're clicking today, and Viper definitely putting in a solid performance in that last map. So we will see exactly how that goes here. Everybody is in the lobby. They're just waiting for one last member to ready up, and then we'll be getting ourselves into some downfall, and it looks like won't take very long for that to happen, as we're going to be dealing with the South HQ objective first. Ooh, there we go. Well, let's get ourselves into round 1 of map 2, as the Legionnaires defense looks to set up against the BossFight offense. BossFight getting that relatively quick spawn in the west. So we'll see if anybody gets spotted out here from the rock position. They run across, but don't actually make the peaks out towards the west side, so not gonna opt to catch anybody crossing. Vegas now in trouble. Under fire, and Scooby is gonna find a very nice shot underneath the Humvee to pick up Vegas, who is just down. And BossFight setting up, if we just kind of take a look at the map here, setting up 3 in the west, sending 2 far east on that long rotation. They're going to have to be dealt with by Mayhow and Mr. Serious here. But both of these guys tucked in, sort of watching the deep angles of this building. They're not really looking out towards the east. I wonder if Mr. Serious's barrel here will give his position away. A little bit of tracking issues there, it sounds like. Who is UC Death firing at?
It could be in the little annex on the side, maybe.
Oh, they're looking for that south watch, or that white tower, but White Tower's got nobody in it. South Guard does have someone in it, though. Just a couple of warning shots being sent out. Nothing to be too concerned about just yet. I like this defensive positioning somewhat. I mean, they've got sort of every side of this covered. Mr. Serious is gonna find Scooby as he pushes out the corner of Center Hotel, but the confirm will not be available, as he is on the other side of the wall there. UC Death sending a few of his own rounds back. We'll see if UC Death is able to find this res here, as he's going to need it. They're going to need it. Legionnaires are going to lose Vegas.
I'm reading that Marsoc top floor. Sounds like Marsoc top floor.
That call out coming out is pretty accurate, so we should be seeing the easternmost offense here. If I just zoom on over here, we should be seeing these guys starting to push those Marsoc towers. And Viper's it. He's running the scoped M16, I believe. Yes, the 12X on that M16.
With a drum mag backed up by weather balloon and his shield.
Yes, indeed. Oh, and that tank is just 100% volume.
Of course. Even at, like, I'm trying to keep the high angle camera way up in the sky.
I know.
Still, like,
yeah, it's deafening. I mean, this Marsoc tower is under fire. Mayhow returning some shots. I'll test this out. Oh, you can actually, yeah, okay. An interesting skill on with Viper. That was pretty funny. Mayhow does find Viper. Sorry, it was Viper's commentary that made me laugh there. I was in his first person. Weather balloon now the only one remaining here in the east, as Vegas has bled out as well. Oh my god, I need to get away from that tank. I'm losing my hearing. Mad Scientist, Scooby, and UC Death all making this final approach here through the southwest.
There's a 3M lawsuit you could probably get in on for veterans about hearing protection that they were serving to the military. So, I mean, you might could get away with it since Onward is a mil-sim game. But Mr. Serious is going to pop out and find Weather Balloon and help turn the tides even more in the favor of Legionnaires. They have set up quite the solid defense, and with that, he's also going to steal Weather Balloon's shield like a boss.
He is indeed. Sad I missed that rush, but Caught quite a few of the push, or quite a bit of the push here. Mad Scientist is gonna find Mr. Sirius as he tries to push down that hill. Gonna want to use that shield next time you're out in the open there.
Problem is, Legionnaires have the man advantage, but right now they don't have those men on the defense on the objective. Like there's only the one. Just
That's
Kagan.
true.
If Kagan goes down, there's still a cap.
Zarek is up in that south guard though. They're gonna have a hard time getting past Zarek, watching from that window. Once they start making this push to objective, those shots coming out, those are Zarek checking the smoke. Mad Scientist is gonna find another. Mayhow going down on his rotation down from the south, and he finds yet another, and Kagan is out, and all of a sudden we're all evened out here. The defense and offense both operating with 2 smokes now out on objective, and
Oh, yep, and Scooby's got the right route here. They are already aware of the spot up on the hill. They're aware of Eric's spot. That smoke is going to help if Scooby makes it.
Oh, he did not make it.
Eric, he did not.
I mean, Eric's he's got that little corner of the window. I mean, that is a tough shot to make, even on your best day. And it's gonna leave just Mad Scientist here with 30 seconds left to the objective, pinned down by gunfire. Mr. Sirius rotating back in. Zarek not taking shots here. Mad Scientist is on the inside. Mr. Sirius needs to be very quick on this. He's got Pat out already. Mr. Sirius, why are you not checking the objective? Oh, this is gonna be a cap. Oh no, Sleepy. Oh no.
Yeah, but I don't know. Mad Scientist was the one who took a little too long at Suburbia, but there it is. He does manage to get it this time, and in a quick little bit of time, he grabs 2 for Boss Fight, and they take the lead here on map number 2.
And just a whole host of confusion there from the Legionnaires side. Mad Scientist picking up 3 kills and a cap. Holy cow. I mean, I thought that was done and dusted. I think Zarek had chosen to reload and then rotate, and he must not have had eyes that on that perfect. I mean, that was just perfect timing. That was really just the best timing you could have done as the offense there.
Sure
Excuse
was.
me. Pushing down through into that building, and then Mr. Sirius, I think he assumed that was Zarek rotating back and not the final member of Boss Fight, but
Well, what I appreciated about what Mad Scientist did there was he did the smart thing initially, which was to rush inside and then take cover, use the rifle still, not just immediately go for the cap, right? But then he realizes, oh, I've got like 20 seconds. I don't have enough time to really waste. If I'm going for it, I've got to go for it. He knows the one guy's off the objective. He's not making it back in time no matter what. But the one on the objective, he's like, do I chance it and go for the cap now? Or do I try and waste what little precious time I have left to go for the kill, then go for the cap? And he did the smart thing and went for the cap instead and ended up getting them the win. Mr. Sirius finds one right away, though, on Viper. As Boss Fight rushes out of the valley. Quick pre-fire spots coming out from both sides here on both maps so far today.
yeah, and Vegas is already on this inside corner here. I think the smoke, holding the smoke, is a little bit more detrimental than it is positive, as they can exactly see where he's going. But he has pushed up quite a ways here. The frag gonna come out a little bit too far. Kagan avoids that as well, and now Vegas is already on the inside, but he's gonna have to deal with 3 defenders as the nades start raining down around him. He's gonna have to be careful. He's gonna come around this corner at the wrong time, and the frag is gonna find him. Vegas just no love with the nades today, and the confirm will come out as he is out, but he places the smoke in the right position, and now the defense has to put all 4 on him. Mr. Sirius finds one. You see Death dead on the inside. The tube comes in from Zarek. It's gonna find 2 inside. Mad Scientist and Weather Balloon both out. The reses will be coming. Mr. Sirius has got the pad out. Scooby gets the cleanup there, and the defense regains control. Kagan finding Mad Scientist, though. Weather Balloon finding the corner rush, gets Kagan as well.
God.
And now it's smoke all over the objective.
He's gonna find it. He's almost gonna find the backside of Weather Balloon. Nothing's gonna come of it though. Now he's going right on top of the objective. Scooby's right next to him. He doesn't see him. He takes down the house. Derek turns around, finds the recap. We're gonna see a cap here, folks. Eric's got the tab out. He's going for the cap. He's got plenty of time. Weather Balloon rushing back to the objective. He's got nothing to do. He's gonna be trying to peek in the corner, and he does find him inside. Boss Fight, find the clutch. It's 3-0 here on Downfall.
I've never been more tired from a round. What?
Holy
Shnikes.
We need a bleep button, Noman, because I need to be able to cuss after rounds like this. Serious though, but that is exactly why BossFight actually proving that the noob tube, even if it's utilized in a map like this, on an objective like this where it can take out 2 members, you can still recover. But luckily for BossFight, they were in the area. My God, though, how Weather Balloon turned that around at the end.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Hold on, I need a cigarette, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a
Play of the week. Take a girl to dinner first, you know? Take me out on a date before you do that to me, Legionnaires at BossFight. Holy cow.
Swiping right on BossFight right now.
I mean, that was
Wait, that's the right direction, right? I don't know.
that was beautiful on both sides. Like, I can't fault either side for what happened, or I can't favor a team there. It was just a great series between. That's the kind of Onward stuff that that is play of the week for me. I'm just saying.
I freaking love that whole that whole thing, that whole timeline that just happened in that round was amazing to me. Like an initial pre-fire pick early on in the round, then some really aggressive pushing from Legionnaires. We saw the noob 2 come out with a nice double downing, but BossFight able to recover. They put a couple guys on the objective. They keep getting denied. Finally, they get one in there. He's got some time. And Weather Balloon, last man standing, who we thought was too far gone now. He's way off the objective. Comes back to clutch it. I mean, my God, how can you not love what just happened there? That was some great freaking Onward.
That was really fantastic stuff. We're into round 3. You wouldn't believe it, but we're into just round 3 of map 2. BossFight already on series point here after taking Suburbia. Unbelievable. I mean, really just blown away by the plays here by these two teams. BossFight absolutely commanding this downfall so far, but not without some serious effort.
Oh no, absolutely.
That last
Legionnaires
round,
not rolling over and dying.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That last round was maximum effort for sure. They deadpooled that one.
I mean, that's definitely, but I mean, that's the kind of thing about playing in that manner, like going for it like that, is you really risk it. Like, it works or it doesn't. It either goes very right or it goes very wrong, and you're left with scraps to try and piece it together at the end.
I mean, I think that came down to just something as simple as who was that last one on the objective that was capping there? I've already forgotten who was actually capping. I'm so jazzed about it. But anyway, he was standing and in the window. Like, had he crouched and not given Weather Balloon that ability to shoot through the window directly, that could have been the extra second or two that they would have needed maybe to get that cap off. So, I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm not even playing. My hands are like sweating and shaking from watching that play. It was a fantastic series. And now we're kind of back into this more methodical play as BossFight, being a little bit more cautious, looking to lock this series out 4-0 if at all possible. Just a lot of communication, a lot of discussion about how to make this approach happening here.
So objective shack.
Yeah, I was laughing at the beginning of the round there because Scooby says, "Here, Viper," and then chucks a drum mag at Viper's head.
Now we'll see how this northern approach can be so difficult, but if the defense is confident that just one or two can hold that north approach, it can fall apart quickly with the right shots. So I'm interested to see if BossFight can pull off this northern push. Usually you will see at least a couple of players rotate down to the south and try to come up the street, maybe apply a little pressure on two sides of the defense. But BossFight really going for a more direct route here, north and center. And we'll see if Legionnaires is ready for it. Their positions are pretty decent, but they don't have a lot of eyes out into the center. Most of their sight lines are dealing with specifically positions around the objective. So Mayhow watching out towards the southwest. They've got El Vegas covering the peak out towards the center north. He can get eyes on to east and west red truck, but a tricky shot to make if they can make that hill. And they've left all of Crater basically entirely exposed, so anybody can come through. I mean, if you take a look at this, there is no defensive member watching the absolute north. So if anybody can get down that way, which Weather Balloon is currently opting to do with his shield, laying down with the shield. I mean, this is like as tight as it gets. It's not really I mean, I guess he's kind of covered by that shield. It's an interesting little crawl play there. But he doesn't even need to do it. He could just sprint it. There is literally nobody watching this approach.
That's not possible in real life, no, man.
I'm sure we'll be hearing about it from choice players in our league, but nothing to say he cannot do it. And
honestly, I think it's a
work out.
creative way to get yourself down that hill that's super exposed. I mean, other than wasting utility like smokes, you know, which is up until now basically your only way down.
Yeah, the sideways shield is the way to go there, though. Anytime it's up and down like that, his body is angled and exposed, so it really does not provide as much cover as he may think it does. But either way, he's going to be able to make it down because there is 0 defensive coverage on that north side. And Vegas is going to find the first, though, as he peeks Mad Scientist on this little push here. I mean, it's a tight angle, but if you're slow enough, the shots can be made. And that is going to bring BossFight down to 4, so they're operating with a man down now against the full Legionnaires defense. Just a little bit of pre-fire coming out towards some relatively common spots, but no one going to be there as Legionnaires tucked in.
Get in range to throw smokes, and keep moving, guys. Do not run out of time. We do that too much.
There it is. Scooby making the call out there for the casters. They do run out of time pretty often on these objectives. Scooby trying to make sure that does not happen here. They want to close this out 4-0.
I mean, can you blame him? Why not? Go ahead and take the series, ease off the gas a little bit, maybe try out some new stuff in the third map because it's basically your map choice again.
Oh boy, weather balloon in a battle here. Vegas is gonna find Scooby. Mayhow with the confirmation gonna come in now. Now Viper on the inside here with the long-range rifles. Eric's going to be not ready for him as he finds one. Kagan finds Weather, and Vegas finds UC Death, and that center push is all gone. It's just Viper left on the OBJ, and if he'd have just stayed quiet, Vegas might not have even peeked. But he does give away that position. Legionnaires will take their first round of downfall. Oh, boy. What a series so far it has been, folks. If you're just tuning in, you're right in the heat of the action, but you've missed most of it. You've missed all the juicy bits.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, BossFight are 1 round away from just sealing the series up and going to 3. They have technically, let's see here, 2 more throwaway rounds if Legionnaires aren't able to commit to a cap in order to take it on a defensive round. So right now it's their opportunity to shut this map down 4-1 just like they did on map 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I don't think they're going to let off the gas even in map 3 if I had to guess. Like you said, I think there is going to be a little bit of that rubbing NA's nose in it if they get the opportunity. But I mean, they have earned it. They have been playing
blame
solid.
them, though?
No,
Like,
absolutely not. They've been playing strong. I mean, Legionnaires have been playing strong, but just
Yeah.
not strong enough. You know, I mean, it's been very evident so far that Legionnaires not a team to roll over, but just not firing on all cylinders. A couple of key mistakes have cost them this series, and a couple of great plays by BossFight as well, even when Legionnaires weren't. You know, I'm more thinking of Mr. Serious there, flubbing the cap defense on that second round. But even when they're not making flubs like that, you know, it feels like BossFight has just been steamrolling this game so far.
oh yeah. I mean, now it's kind of making me less like eat my hat-ish saying that I thought BossFight was going to win because, well, they're just proving me right at this point. And but no, they've been playing very, very well. I mean, they've been able to recover from that, quite honestly, amazing execution from Legionnaires on that building next to the dumpster objective.
South HQ, yes.
Yes, the South HQ. That was an impressive recovery on that play to end up clutching that round. So, I mean, you really got to give it to BossFight. They're doing well. And again, who can blame the EU for rubbing the NA's face in it when all the NA does is rub the EU's face in how easy they have it and how, you know, few teams there are. Like, I'd want to rub it in your faces too.
Yep, absolutely. It is not a surprising turn of events here, but I mean, we're just.
Yeah, I know.
We're just speculating. We're just caster speculating. BossFight are actually quite quite a nice bunch of guys. I mean, they are.
Yeah, they are.
They're a nice, nice, good, fun people. I don't think they would be malicious in any of their intent against any team, let alone the Legionnaires. But I mean, you'd like to imagine it, though, you know, right? Like they're just wringing their hands. Maybe Scooby's got like a cat on his lap, and he's just kind of petting, like, yes, excellent. Excellent. It's all going according to plan.
I just imagine Scooby always playing in his cowboy hat that he's always wearing when I see him at LAN events and such. And I know he doesn't because I've seen him play on stage, and to know that he doesn't play with it. But I really wish that he did. Scooby, your brand is now playing VR with your cowboy hat, or your, I don't know if a cowboy hat is the correct term for it, but with your go anywhere hat that I always see you with.
Yeah, that would, it'd be pretty tricky to wear the headset over the top of it. I feel like that would just be an unnecessary discomfort to add to your gameplay.
It's for your branding. You got to do it.
Yeah, if you got to further your brand.
Branding is having to wear a snorkel with your VR headset.
What? I don't even want to ask why I have a snorkel.
That's your branding. Don't you know?
Seems arbitrary.
No, it's your branding. I see you in a snorkel all the time. Every time you hang out, you're wearing a snorkel. I'm like, why is this guy wearing a snorkel?
That's
You're
true.
Like,
well,
who I am. This is my brand.
Stop coming over when I'm just done with my coral reef fishing. You know, it's where the best fish are. It's what I do all the time, is just fish in those coral reefs.
Okay.
And I got to be ready at any time. You never know when you're going to run into a coral reef here in the Bay Area. So
coral reef emergency.
Quick, I need some clownfish. I
got a reef
covered.
Emergency.
Classic
That's
stuff.
probably the one place where Aquaman feels useful, huh?
Yeah, that's very during the annual fish fry for the.
Hey, Aquaman, can you call a bunch of your friends over for this event? It's gonna be really cool. We're inviting everyone over. All right, boys, get them.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Aquaman just stares there, traumatized.
Oh,
What?
well, we burned 3 minutes with our nonsense chat, but Legionnaires taking that time to get set up in the Southwest here. I was just going to start commenting about how this is exactly what I was talking about before. Oh, Zarek under fire. Not going to get much further than that. You see Death shutting down that approach. And now that approach is given away. Mad Scientist is going to have to deal with Vegas and Mayhow here. I sure hope not. I sure hope I'm still hidden.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Ooh.
That's C4. That's
Mayhew able to escape a little bit of a premature C4 donation.
They got the Belly Boy Vegas coming up here on
Belly Boys.
the bottom of Mad Scientist's view. He's not going to have too much of an issue as nobody else really peeking this angle. Only the two-story is going to be able to grab him, but he's not going to spot it out. Now Mad Scientist is going to find Mayhow as he rushes out, not ready for it. Vegas.
I cannot believe Vegas is not popping up into that window to take down Scientist right now.
See how long it takes for him to stand up here.
He's
in the
going
first
to
place.
lose the advantage.
Yeah,
See? You lose the advantage when you don't. He should have popped up off his belly. Get off your belly and get the refrag. That would have been at least a refrag before Scooby was able to counter him. He might have been able to even get a refrag and then rush towards the center hotel and get underneath Scooby before Scooby was able to react. But unfortunately, because he didn't get up and he tried to get stealthy with the kill, lost the advantage he would have had. Now shots are going to ring out from UC Death, I believe.
No,
towards...
it's Viper. Viper was on the backside there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, and Kagan is exposed to Mad Scientist inside of that room. He is down but not out. Will be confirmed shortly. And now it is just up to Mr. Sirius to keep Legionnaires in the series. Can he do it? 1Vs.
Yeah.
No, 0v5. And Legionnaires are taken out completely out of the series by BossFight as they will take that map 2 victory. But we will be playing our third map regardless, as there are
of course
MMR Juicy Juice points to be had. We'll see what that third map is going to be, but a great series there by BossFight. I mean, really taking it to them. 4-1, 4-1, the score of both maps so far, Sperbia and Downfall. I don't know, Sleepy. I don't even have words. I'm out of words, you know. As a caster, it's a big problem to have, but what a really good series. We had a lot of methodical plays, a lot of good rushing plays. I feel like this is a good mix. This is the kind of stuff I like to see where teams mix it up, you know, shake it up. Keep your opponents on their toes at all times. I feel like that's what BossFight did. Gave them the edge there.
I freaking knew this is where we were going.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This map was almost 100% guaranteed if you're playing these two teams. And that map, my good viewer friends, is Subway. We're gonna be seeing Subway as our third map for the MMR juice competition. And we're going to be seeing exactly the same style of play, I would imagine. We're going to see a little bit of rushes. We're going to see, I imagine, a good amount of shield on both sides. If you love your Riot Shield plays, this is the place to be. And yeah, this map has been quite popular in the league this season. I mean, this has been you know, at least a couple of times a week, couple matchups a week have been playing on Subway regularly. Teams just this season starting to feel comfortable after the changes that were live last season. Actually, the season before, if I'm not mistaken. Now finally coming alive and utilizing this map quite a bit. And I think it is it favors a certain play style and a certain type of team for sure. And I think those teams have locked in on it, much like Tanker is for the sort of the faster, more technical teams. Danklers and Globochem come to mind. But now we're going to be seeing BossFight and Legionnaires just smashing away at each other here on Subway. We are going to be getting into round one if I can get my camera to cooperate. There it is. All right, we are into round one, map 3. It's not the series decider, it's the series ender. BossFight already deciding the series in those first 2 maps. We'll see what the offense does. We're gonna have 2 coming up this catwalk here in the middle. And you see Death will pop out, find the trade. And the confirm comes out, and that is 1 out for Legionnaires. And the revive will come out for the BossFight side. So now there is reinforcements here. Mr. Serious tucked in the inside. He's gonna be in trouble. Viper and Scooby coming up that back stairwell. Gonna deal some real damage if he's not careful. Mr. Serious now peeking this angle. Is he gonna spot UC Death and take the shots? He does indeed. Weather Balloon tucks in behind the shield. He takes a couple of shots out.
If we can flank him, that'd be great.
Viper and Scooby here gonna be rushing up. Viper with the shield. And the frag is gonna come out. The return fire is gonna find it. The frag does not get the kill, and Mr. Serious, now besieged on both sides, will die to Weather Balloon's pistol. Mad Scientist will find another kill on those north stairs, and now it is just 2 members of Legionnaires versus the 3 left on BossFight. Mayhow and Kagan here. Kagan gonna have to deal with that Weather Balloon shield, and deal with it he shall not. Actually, he shall. Weather Balloon is downed with the shield down. The res very unlikely to happen as the siege on the objective begins. Mayhow looking to do this. I mean, this is the amount of smokes that I would definitely panic rotate for. Mad Scientist opting to just leave that north hallway.
Probably assumed that there would be one pushing, but he does not. He goes back, finds Mahal, and BossFight find their first point on the last of the maps.
Yeah, holy cow. Oops, sorry. Yeah, holy cow. I mean, that rotation was interesting to say the least, but forces the right rotation out. Gets Mad Scientist that kill. BossFight grabbing themselves another, but they've opened each round, each map, I should say, with a Marsoc win. They've been Marsoc winning the first time every time so far, so they are not fazed by Legionnaire's choice to just give the map picks away. and start on defense. They have the answer to that, and it has been working. The answer is correct.
That is accurate, sir.
What a series it has been, Sleepy. I am just tired from watching this, you know?
I know, I kind of want to take a nap, but not because it's been boring, but because I'm exhausted.
Whew. Really takes the energy out of you. BossFight now on the defense. In round 2.
Okay, here. Give me your pistol. Give me your pistol.
Little pistol trade.
It's got a flashlight.
What is this? Some kind of double pistol? Oh, they're putting the they're blinding the night vision there. It's got the flashlight on. Ooh, and Vegas is gonna find a quick pick onto Weather Balloon as he pushes that corner. Now Scooby has to tuck in and wait for somebody to push across. They've got Viper and UC Death locking down this alleyway. The rest of Legionnaires making that same tunnel push here.
That's all right. They got their belly boy backup coming up from the center stairwell, so Scooby-Doo might be getting pinched himself here as the Legionnaires look to push this corner. Scooby-Doo probably going to find Kagan unless Kagan is ready and coordinated enough to wait for Mr. Sirius and Eric to round their corner, because otherwise he's running right into
Almost a
Scooby's
team kill. Almost a team kill there. Mr. Sirius almost catching a couple rounds. Scooby's going to find the kill. Oh, and that frag. What kind of route did that frag take?
Enemies up and over. 2 enemies up and over. 2 enemies up and over.
It bounced all the way around. I think there was a little bit of a network delay there, but the callouts do come out from Scooby. And Viper now coming in on the aid. The flash not quite where he wanted it to be. Mr. Sirius gonna peek this corner, might win out. No, Viper able to skirt the shots that time. Ooh, and a nice little frag bounce there as well is gonna catch Zarek.
Sorry.
Mad Scientist with a confirm, but Sirius on the peak is gonna trade out.
He'll grab 2 with the trade.
There it
Viper will
is.
come out and go ahead and get the double tap, but Mahal will be right behind to get the refract. BossFight now with 1 left. You see Death, the only person left on the board. Still 4 minutes left. Mahal and his fellow teammate Vegas have plenty of time still left to work with here, and Vegas gonna be coming up on the backside now. If UC Death can stay distracted, Vegas has the objective wide open to be able to come in and cap from. Actually, if he comes in quietly enough, Mahal can hold UC Death's attention and go ahead and steal the cap right out from behind him.
Mahal not ready.
Never mind.
Mahal not ready for that one. He's gonna find the kill. Vegas creeping up the hallway is gonna find UC Death as he rotates in to try to tuck in. Doesn't check that alleyway, and Vegas will secure Legionnaires' first round for this third map. A great play there by Legionnaires. I mean, there was a lot of trading in the alleyways, a couple of choice nades, able to get them that purchase and sort of split the defense's time effectively. Finally, the nades seeming like they're starting to work it on Subway of all maps. But the objective has shifted. We are now going to be dealing with the North Turnstiles objective, North Stairs objective, where we see quite a few caps come out pretty often. So I'm excited to see the play here, because what I'm thinking BossFight's going to go for that same let's cap on offense thinking here to try to get up to 3-1, try to cinch the series on a defensive round. And Legionnaires going to be defending against it. I'm very excited to see what this defense looks like. I feel like these defenses are always so fluid, to be so constantly changing based on BossFight's push and a commitment to particular lanes of coverage. Now we've got 2 defenders pushing this way, Zarek and Kagan all pushing up the stairs. BossFight opting to stay tucked back That nade does go up and over. It's a little short. Vegas finds an early one, though, onto Viper, taking
Vegas been
BossFight.
finding all the early picks in this map.
They are so aggressive. I actually have to go figure this aggression out. Scooby is going to rush down, find Vegas and Sirius with the refrag, and he almost gets caught out himself. BossFight now down to just 3 early. Not even 60 seconds into the round. BossFight already lost 2.
And Legionnaires are actually already over here in the north side of the stairwell, kind of ready and lying in ambush for these 2 members of BossFight, Weather Balloon and Mad Scientist. They got plenty of time, but obviously BossFight can do a lot here. And now we're in like Subway 2.0, essentially. There are so many routes that they could take to kind of counter, or to circumvent, I should say, not counteract, to circumvent the paths that the defenders are on. They could go down through the center, they could go through the top center, they could go through the basement, the sub-basement, the north stair, the south stair. There's so many entrances now. A little bit of premature C4 detonation somewhere else on the map, but no effect on anything.
Now we'll see if Zarek's cheeky little spot here by the garbage can can find him a kill onto Weather Balloon. It's a nice little spot. Legs up in the dumpster. If he just stays tucked in, yeah, right there where you are. I wonder if that garbage bag has a hitbox that's gonna cause some problems, and Weather Balloon will spot him out. Pistol comes up and over. Oh, and the C4 detonation is way too late. A good play there in the attempt, and
Oh, Mad Scientist will be the one to kill Weather Balloon, as Weather Balloon does a bit of a breakdance. In the aftermath, Mad Scientist still picking up another to make up for the team kill. Now, if Smoke's going to come downstairs, he is prepared. He is in position for an attack. The defender is not there, but he needs backup, and he needs it fast. Luckily for him, UC Death's going to be coming up on his back. They are ready to make the push, but they need to do it soon. They've got a defender swinging around on their backside. They've got one down at the basement that they are aware of, but they need to do something. They need to try and get in there and take him down. If they do, they are free and clear. They can go for that cap.
yeah, Mr. Sirius needs to be getting back to the OBJ. He's a little bit too far. UC Death might be playing into this positioning, though, as he rushes, tries to get a different position. He's going to go down, it looks like. He's going to go down those stairs. I think he's going to go down those stairs. No, he's actually opting for a full south rotation.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they've got the time. They've got the 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and just track UC Death here. You know what? Let's pop into his view.
He's actually going to be able to make it around Mad Scientist.
No.
Mad Scientist seems to have seen it.
Man.
Never mind. And I meant Mr. Sirius, not Mad
That
Scientist.
should be what, 1 enemy left?
That is going to be 1 enemy left on the objective, as UC Death going to opt to rotate all the way around. Mad Scientist still tucked in here waiting for this last defender, and he's going to pop out. Make sure to check that backside of the objective now that his teammate is dead.
Yay.
And he will get caught out. BossFight will go up 2-1. No cap there for them. And BossFight up again in the series, 2-1 there. Not letting off the accelerator, my friend.
No, they are not. You thought that they might in map 3 because, I mean, they didn't take opportunities that presented themselves to, add points before. So I figured maybe they'd step off the throttle here in map 3 and go for some new, like, avant-garde strategies. But I haven't seen anything that seems to me too experimental. But of course, I'm not in their roster. I don't know what's experimental and what's not.
Drum.
It's true indeed.
Drum. Here, yes, please.
Legionnaires now on the offense. They got to scramble. They got to try and get this cap. They need to be up on the series going into the defensive round if they want to try to cinch map 3. Take it away from BossFight. But if BossFight can lock this down, they have got a heck of a time waiting for them. And the frag a little too high anyway, but no one there from Legionnaires to catch it as he peeks the corner. Wow, what a dangerous peek that is. And Weather Balloon opting to now rotate back. So we are not seeing that push to the If we actually take a look at the overhead map here while they get set up, see that sort of pinch formation between the two members of BossFight, actually downstairs inside, so they're opting to not push up the catwalk. They just want to catch them if they come through the actual track. But all of Legionnaires still inside of this bazaar. They have not left this bazaar area, I don't believe. Yeah, only Zarek is out on that set of north stairs, and Weather Balloon now rotating back. Just try to keep a closer eye on this north alleyway. Hopefully he doesn't get too antsy, because there are plenty of Legionnaires waiting for him to pop this corner.
He's there. He's around the corner.
Oh, and he gets spotted out. Mayhow will get confirmed. Now ready for Weather Balloon's quick peeks there. He was using those peeks to just ascertain where the offense was, not giving them a chance to shoot him. As he pops the corner, but Kagan will capitalize on that overconfidence and find the kill onto Weather Balloon. That evens things out a little bit here. 2 minutes gone in the round. 4v4 is what they're dealing with now. Legionnaires have a clearer path down to this north side, but they've got a lot of work left to do as the nade goes up and over and out of the map it goes.
Yeah, that went into a different dimension for sure.
The old subway hole.
The old subway hole. Those are my subway holes.
Now it is time for Legionnaires to make this north stair approach, and the one thing I'm seeing here that kind of surprises me is zero shield. No shield for this objective. Crazy.
I agree. Really surprised to see it myself, but apparently neither team feels it was okay. Well, actually, Weather Balloon had the shield in the last round.
He did.
From BossFight,
He did
so.
indeed, yeah. Mad Scientist made sure he did not survive the round, but still, they did use it. Never made it to the stair approach.
What I found interesting was that even when he went down, they didn't pick it up on BossFight to use in that last round. Yeah, I mean, they still ended up winning that round, so who cares, right? But, you know, we talk about not using the shield. Well, even though BossFight was neutralized, they still had the opportunity to pick it up and bring it back into play, and chose to leave it on the field. And had that flank gone differently, that could have been turned against them. So if you are going to bring it, you need to make sure you keep possession of it at all time. Shot's going to ring out from the members of Legionnaires as they start sliding down the steps towards the defenders on the backside of the objective. But this is going to be very difficult for them to take. However, if they manage to get these two off the objective, the two remaining members of BossFight better be watching their tablets, because they don't notice that they go down. They're going to have to start pushing right away, and it's going to be a risky push because they're going to have to go in blind.
Is there a C4 somewhere here? I feel like there's a C4 somewhere, because these defenders are just so tucked in. There it is. Mad Scientist will make the peek and get Zarek. Kagan with the quick refrag. Scooby now the only one left. Grenade comes out. He's going to have to rotate out. Scooby will place the smoke there, give him a little bit of opportunity of motion. Kagan doing a little bit of suppressing fire as Vegas pushes up with the frag. The frag coming out. Scooby just pre-firing around the corner. Does find one, but Vegas's grenade is going to find Scooby as well. And UC Death now rotating through.
Dead.
Ooh, Mr. Serious will find the clutch kill there onto UC Death and Scooby. And now Viper, the only one remaining here for BossFight, as the remaining three members of Legionnaires are just laying fire down into the smoke. I don't think they know that Scooby is out. The frag will come out. Viper finds one. Oh, that's a smoke. Oh, lucky for Viper, that's a smoke. And Mr. Serious rushes the corner and kill Mr. Viper to get Legionnaires their first second round win of a map so far. So this is the first time Legionnaires have put 2 points up on the board.
Yeah.
In the series so far, in a pretty intense series, and these are really tense positioning. The score is really not indicative of the level of play we've seen here from both teams.
No, Legionnaires have done a fantastic job in keeping up with BossFight. I mean, BossFight have been putting down the gauntlet, and I think Legionnaires have done a great job of keeping up with that, but BossFight are just running a tempo that I don't think Legionnaires are keeping up with at this moment.
I would definitely agree with that. We've got another tense objective coming at the folks at home. It is going to be the sub-basement objective, the sub-track, I don't know what to call it. I don't think I've ever seen a configuration where there's a subway track and then below it there's another set of subway tracks. I feel like that's not structurally sound, but it is possible here. Chinese manufacturing, am I right? You know, am I right? Huh? Don't at me, Beijing. But we're gonna see what the defense looks like here for Legionnaires as they look to try to stay in this series. Try to get this, sorry, not in this series, in this map. They're trying to stay in the map.
Yeah, they're out of the series, sorry, but BossFight handled
But
that.
round 5 is underway. I'm still bummed I'm not running my replay buffer right now. I keep forgetting to do that because I really just want to keep rewatching that downfall play just over and over again at every break. I think if we just played 7 rounds of 3 maps of just replaying that replay, it would be pretty fantastic stuff. So the Marsoc push coming largely through this track 2 stairwell and that basement approach where Kagan and Vegas are at the other end of. So I'm just going to kind of take a high-level camera view here from above the track, but they are in the tunnels down below. We need X-ray vision. Can casters get X-ray, like true X-ray, where the floors go translucent on these maps?
Just make it where the flashlight has an X-ray option.
What
so
a
that
good
the same
idea.
Cone of light basically can see through walls, but only in that specific cone.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. Clark Kent vision. All right, let's start adding the devs. At Dante, X-ray
Whoa.
cone vision. Yeah, I said it.
Don't encourage our channel to do that.
They'll do it anyway. They don't need my encouragement to do it.
It's true, but if they have your encouragement, they feel even more entitled to do it.
I don't think entitled is the right word. Empowered.
Howard, there you go.
Listen, if the people want it, the people want it. I'm just a lowly caster. Just here to give my worthless
Look at
opinion.
you playing it out like you're on the side of the people, making Sleepy the big old bad wolf here. Because Snowman's got to be the bright shining star.
I have the benefit of also not being a league mod, so I'm not beholden. No, I'm
All right,
absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for me. Thank you so much for coming out. I will see you later again, and never. I will have a nice day. Peace, everyone.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Drama Queen Sleepy at it again.
I'll be in my trailer.
I can't work under these conditions. Mad Scientist and Weather Balloon. Oh, Weather Balloon spotting out that C4 play. Fantastic stuff. I want to hear Vegas call it out. Ah, he saw the defuse. I thought he was going to be like, oh, blow it up now. No, indeed, he is not going to be yelling that as Weather Balloon pushes this side. Kagan should be able to get the refrag. He does indeed. Weather Balloon trading out 1-for-1 there with Kagan and Mad Scientist pushing out. Viper getting that refrag, and just like that, it's a 3v3. Trades for trades all day. Scooby's at the top of these stairs. Mr. Serious, I didn't even spot this. He's on the backside of the offense. He's going to be pushing through Viper, and you see Death not ready at all.
Wow. I didn't see it coming either. Scooby-Doo's down on the objective platform, though. He could go for the cap, but he's going to be scissored between two. Mr. Serious is pushing up. Scooby's going to be looking down the long angle, looking for Mahal.
Zarek pushes down through the smoke, doesn't spot Scooby. That smoke coverage is perfect.
Yeah, oh, no, for now. No, they see him. Oh, no! Mahal actually takes out Mr. Serious, but Zarek does find Scooby-Doo. And Legionnaires take the lead for the first time on this map.
Correct. First time in the series in general.
Someone put a question mark on the teleprompter. I knew.
Yeah. He'll read anything, folks. You give this guy anything, he'll just read exactly that. It is dangerous to give Sleepy a teleprompter. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But also necessary. Otherwise, you get some seriously wackadoodle stuff.
You get some real jank coming out of Sleepy's mouth sometimes. Some real nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Legionnaires poised now on this Marsoc attempt to take the map away from BossFight, not seed all 3 maps, and recover a little bit of the MMR blow they were to receive. As it was a pretty skewed scoreline up until this point, but if they can take this, this would soften the blow a little bit. I believe it would make it a 6-10 victory if they were to take it right now.
Yes.
But we are now into the second to last round of the series as the BossFight defense gets set up. Okay.
Set you up.
Language.
C4's right here. C4's right here.
Language.
You can't pick it up. Just move on.
The C4 is botched. It is on the track. I mean, it is still technically at a useful position, just pretty hard to watch over that spot and know when to detonate.
Yeah.
The second C4 is right here, showing as not armed, actually. I'm kind of looking at this. It is currently offline, but we'll see if that's actually the case as the Legionnaires are pushing through. They've got 2 coming through up top. Vegas already on this top track here as he pushed down those south stairs. Oh, I have to get into Zarek's point of view. There it is. Weather balloon on the corner here with him. Is he going to be ready for this peak? Zarek spots the hip of weather balloon out and will take him out as a result. They have backed off a little bit on that kill. BossFight now operating with 4. The rest of the defense relatively tucked in. Only one on that regular basement level 1. The rest all tucked in here on objective. Scooby, he's got a lot of work cut out for him. He's got that C4.
The enemies are passing soda machine tunnel.
Scooby making the call outs.
Bouncy freaking nade, man.
Quite a bit of bounding there. Is the C4 on? It's funny, the green backlight is on, but the red light is what's showing, so who knows? That's the fun. Quite a few Legionnaires here. Potentially C4 fodder. We'll see if that play works out and if they'll be ready for it. It's not quite in an inconspicuous position. And we will watch as this unfolds. We'll just set this camera up nice and static. No need to be zooming around the map for this one. This is where the action is going to be. Mad Scientist and Scooby looking to lock out 3 of the Legionnaires' approach as Vegas crawls down these south stairs. He might be able to catch the back of Scooby. I don't know how easy that position is to spot. The smoke's now coming out, blocking the caster's view. Thanks for that. Zarek rushes out, and Mad Scientist will find the C4 kill onto Zarek. He is down and out. Quite as effective of a C4 as it could have been. But now Vegas is going to be the one making trouble here as he peeks this back corner. Scooby looking for shots. UC Death finding Mr. Sirius upstairs. So that upstairs approach is done and dusted. Just the 3 Legionnaires that we see here. Vegas on the south
on the
stairs.
platform.
Mad Scientist finds the rush, takes a shot, but will find Vegas in the end. And now it's just 2 members of Legionnaires. The offense falling apart.
Yeah, that's... If they make it out of this situation, I'll be seriously impressed. It's going to require them to just give up this lane. There's no... And... Wow.
That frag was not
just
where he
wanted
wanted
to make
it to
sure
go,
their
I don't
teammate was
think.
dead.
Yeah. They had to confirm Zarek, make sure he's out, so that when they clutch this, they can say, haha, it wasn't you. Mad Scientist getting caught out by Kagan. Scooby makes the peek, and the refrag comes out for Mayhow. Now it's just 1v2. Can Mayhow find the clutch?
Well, he better start collecting equipment down there because he's going to need every single bit of it he can take.
I mean, there is no one really there. You know,
I
Viper.
really don't know how you're expecting to throw a grenade long distance in a subway tunnel, but you're gonna have to like chuck it sideways, and I don't know that works too well in Onward.
Yeah, sidearm is not supported. It's not currently supported in this
Throwing
build.
like old Seattle's pitcher Randy Johnson is not gonna be supported in Onward. You can't throw out that wild chicken wing pitcher style.
It's a feature request. UC Death on that south stair push. Gonna get caught out by Mayhow,
finish him
and
off.
Mayhow's now making it a 1v1, but the callouts from UC Death will be coming out, so Viper will be aware of any push that Mayhow makes. He's got 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock to make this push. It's not out of the realm of possibility is what I'm trying to say here. Mayhow.
I think Mayhow's hoping that Viper is gonna come for a refrag, or he thinks that he killed UC Death completely on the initial shots. That's not the case, and as he pushes up, you should have just carried that thing, by the way. He's gonna have UC Death probably start to give call-outs. Yep, there they are now. Viper's gonna make the push, but Legionnaires do manage to get the kill. Mahal finds Viper, and they find their first map in the series on the last map in the series as Legionnaires win the map 4-2.
Yeah, great play there, Mr. Serious picking up 9, Mad Scientist with 8, and overall fantastic play by both sides. Legionnaires cinching up that final round and that final map to make the score. That 6-10 we were talking about. BossFight taking the series strong in the first 2 maps, and Legionnaires responding with a nice subway pickup of their own. I don't know what else to say to you there, my good friend Sleepy, because that was a fantastic series for us to watch. I'm so glad I woke up at the crack of 11 o'clock in the morning to cast this for the folks at home. What are your thoughts? Give me your closing statement.
Well, I guess if I'm honest with you, nothing surprising happened here for me. BossFight won the series. Legionnaires put up a great fight, and I did expect that because, as I mentioned at the beginning of the cast, Legionnaires have improved quite a bit since seasons past. Since I last really recall watching them more regularly. So I do think that the scoreboard was not very indicative of the rounds per se. That round of downfall will still stick with me for quite a while today. I mean, that was just impressive, both on just the simple fact of I got to finally see some utilization of that equipment in the maps it's permissible on, but also I got to see a team expertly counter that piece of equipment, which was stated as going to be too overpowering for objectives like that. So it's great on both ends, but yeah, I think overall I'm not really surprised with the total outcome, though I do feel like I wish Legionnaires had gotten a few more points because I felt like they did actually deserve it. They put up a good fight today.
Yeah, absolutely. I echo those sentiments almost exactly, although I will say I am a little bit more surprised than you are. I mean, those boss fight plays were fantastic and speedy. A lot of them had a little bit of aggression behind them, something we're not used to seeing. And I loved it. I mean, I loved every second of it. Just keep that going, boss fight. That's the kind of stuff that we want to see more of in our streams. I mean, the action was fantastic to cast. I do appreciate the teams for letting us cast them as usual. Thank you to all the viewers who have turned up to watch us today and to dedicate your Sunday mornings, afternoons, and or evenings to the VRML. If you are interested in becoming part of the VRML, you can go ahead and visit vrmasterleague.com for all of the various games and casts and things that we do. The /Onward edition will get you to a place where you can register to be a team or a reservist or whatever you want. You can be whatever you want, live your truth. I want to thank all our viewers for coming out and clipping and dropping bits and all that good stuff. Thank you for that. Thanks to our sponsors, VR Cover and ProTube VR, for supporting the league and all that you do. Again, go check out all of their products. They are fantastic. And that is going to do it from us here at the desk on Master League 1. There is still SMC Tactical and Beginners going on over on Master League 2, so please do jump over to that channel. If you're not already multi-watching, we will likely kick you over to that after this ends. But thanks again to everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. And I am going to kick you guys over to the match once this is over. So thanks again, and we will see you next week.